I think I have ADHD. That could be the issue. No, that's not the issue. I was considered disabled when I was growing up. They gave me dyslexia, and I suspect I have some form of ADHD or dyspraxia or something as well. No, it's not the problem. If you learn about ADHD and get to know it, then I'm sure it will make your life easier, like, to understand what's happening. But no, that's not the problem. Your problem is the belief that's who you are, that you're a person with ADHD. Lisa, I wonder if I'll be fortunate enough to meet beings like you in the future. I feel overwhelmed by thinking that my future will be with people who deeply are identified with their person. You only see yourself everywhere. These deeply identified people that are a problem to you is a fracture of your mind. Really, everything's empty. And everybody's free. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Ronald. I no longer regret how life has evolved so far, because this consciousness is simply content, because that is a new experience. I wonder if consciousness of two entities can merge into one same observation. I guess the searcher is longing to connect. It's always the one observation, the one observer. When you say doing happens, does that mean anything we do is all just happening and I won't have changed in any way and it will have happened exactly the way it did? If yes, then there is no reason to regret anything. What about the actions that I need to take in the present? Can I make a choice? Choice happens and you think it's you, and then you worry for the consequences. But choice in every moment happens. What happens is that you learn about things, so you put information into the system, and then eventually choice is determined and you think it's your choice. The scientists say that the choice is made before you actually make the choice. So the unconscious has made the choice, and then the story comes up and goes, I'm going to choose grapes. And then it feels like you. Amazing, my camera's still working. Hi Anastasia. Hi Lisa. What makes the choice mine is the constant back and forth. I can't never make up my mind right away. Is this just a conditioning? Yeah, it's just a conditioning, and it's a disbalance in the solar plexus. Solar plexus. So what you'll likely do is you'll likely be attracted to people that make very strong choices. You're scared of choosing. It's just a disbalance here. You can just pay attention to that and see it's not true, and see that you're afraid of being hurt, that choices will take away your freedom, that it will threaten your survival, and that's not true. It's just a conditioning that's happened, and then your solar plexus begins to tell you disastrous stories when you make a choice. Question for stream. Do you think the feelings of loneliness or sadness are coming from ego or have a spiritual, authentic side? I kind of feel they are more coming from a soul level. Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Unless I work with you more in detail, I don't know where your sadness or sadness is sadness. They always come from the body. It's not something inherent in consciousness. Consciousness is no thing. So there's something in the body that gets triggered and sadness arises. And what you're, I presume, asking me is the sadness a seeking in some way? And most probably not. The sadness is just sadness, but then you have that feeling and then you seek to try to avoid the sadness. But the body's meant to feel sadness, you know, the body's meant to feel all types of emotions. It's just sadness, happiness, joy. And, you know, we're conditioned. So, you know, when I see a dog that's injured, I'm conditioned to feel sad to it. When I feel sad, when I see someone shout at somebody else, it's because of my childhood and my conditioning. It's the way that I interpret the world. Or if I feel sad about a computer breaking, it's my particular conditioning. Like, it's the way this body is made up. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a feeling arising. The body is conditioned. And then what happens is we have the feeling and then we think, there is something terrible happening here. I must escape. And then there's a running away from that. Hi, Mansoor. Hi, Lisa. Am I right to say this feeling that I live my life wrong is a thought created by me as a separate entity? Yeah, that is a illusory thought that's an effect of believing that you're separate. It's not truth. You haven't lived your life wrong. Your life doesn't exist now. It's only now. Like, where is this life? And I think it's really common because we get sold a life when we're young that we're going to be happy if we achieve all these things, and then when we go and achieve them, it doesn't satisfy us. So I think a lot of people feel it, especially in their older age. After your awakening, can you say that being that dedicated to truth appeared more in your life? No. I can say that beings, which I still had karma with, appeared in my life. I still had to work out some karma in my body. Life is always offering you gifts to wake up, to not wake up, but to evolve. Like, to wake up before that awakening happens, but then after, to evolve and to expand. Everything that it presents to you. So after that big awakening happened, I got offered really beautiful gifts of people that challenged old stuff that was still in my body. Sorry to bother you again. I need a little more clarification on having no choice. In that case, there is no one responsible for any consequences of their action because they couldn't have done any different. Yes. Then what is the point of anything that says, this is what you should do in that situation? For example, can we make a choice of looking at our body when an energy is rising, as you have said, or just ignore it? No, you can't on the ultimate level, but there can be an appearance of choice. And saying this is the way you should drive or this is the way you should cook is good because it helps update your machine as to how to do things better. So when I'm telling you about the chakras and to go into the body, I'm giving information, and it's not a prescription. You might take it as a prescription. It's a description of what might happen in your body. Just like if I give you information of how to cook a perfect egg, then maybe I should have eggs tonight for dinner. I keep talking about eggs. So I'll give you a description of how to cook a perfect egg, then next time you cook an egg, that information might come up. And then you'll always claim and say, it's me, I did the perfect egg. It's me, I evolved myself, I freed myself. That's not true. There is no doer, but it doesn't mean that doing doesn't happen and that information doesn't go in the terms of doership. Choice and doership is a way we communicate. So by me telling you, you shouldn't drive through a red stop light, then your body knows that information to next time, and then more than likely it won't drive through a red light. But you're like, no, but I don't need to learn any information about my body, about emotions, about what to do. and then it's like driving a car, we're learning none of the highway code. There's much more wise ways in which we can behave and which we can act, which bring a lot more peace on the human level. But on the ultimate level, the freedom is seeing that none of it's you, this detachment, that it's all happening. So that's all happening in the character. It's only happening one way. It couldn't be any different than what it is. And who you truly are is this consciousness, which is all things and no thing. I did it. I think I spoke to everyone, just not Kevin. It was you asked to speak, and I only just read it a few minutes ago, and I don't think there's enough time to speak now. Oh, I have to do this to get it to focus again. Nice. Yes. So I think that's the end of the talk. I really enjoyed speaking with you all, and I really wish you a beautiful day or evening, and I will be again with you next Sunday at 6 p.m. French time. It's Wednesday today, isn't it? Yes. So it's Sunday at 6 p.m. Thanks, guys. Bye.